I have here the unreleased Winspace Agile bike here that I get the honor to bring to you guys in a size medium, which is weighing at 15 pounds, 15 ounces, and in kilos, 7.22 kilos with pedal cages and garment mount. Stay tuned to after video. We'll hear a FREEHUB buy sound test on those craft wheels right there. Look at how absolutely sick this bike looks. Hey, how's it going, everyone? GC Performance here, back with that video, and today I have for you guys a very special video. This is an unreleased, unfinished bike by Winspace that they were so nice enough to send over to me to get some miles on and get to ride it and give them some feedback and some testing on. And I talked with them and they were allowing me to kind of do this video early. There are no plans to release this frame yet. They're still in the works of it, so it is kind of like a pre-production. But they're like, hey, if you want to do a teaser video on it to kind of get people hyped about the bike, go ahead. So very cool of them in that manner. But this bike is absolutely amazing. This is their Winspace, and I believe they're calling it their Agile bike, which is going to fit inside the lineup of a mid-tier, like a climbing Aero bike, similar to like the other companies like an SL7 or like the BMC Team Machine. Basically, these bikes are going to be a very common thing in the future. And they did some great changes to this bike, so it's going to fit right in between their T1550 and also their SLC, where the SLC was a little bit more of their full dedicated lightweight climbing bike, and the T1550 was like their crazy Aero road bike. This goes right in between there, so if you're having problems deciding which one you want to go with, this is a bike for you guys. And as you guys saw, the weight was very impressive. Now, they just sent me the frame, and there is no handlebar and stem on there. It's not proprietary. The handlebar and stem is my own. The wheels are my own. The group set's my own. Everything like that. They just sent over the frame. And also, if you guys notice, this is a medium, and I'm usually a large, but this is the only one they had. They only had a couple of them. And I was like, of course, I'm not going to say no to this thing. But they did make some good changes to this bike, which I want to talk about. And I have been putting some miles on it. You guys have heard me do a couple of videos on the L-Twoo ERX, which I have since fixed since then as well. But this is about this bike right here. So everything that I know about this bike so far is that they're working on it. It's still unreleased and it's in pre-production. I think they want to release it later on this year, but there's no confirmed date yet on it, and there's no confirmed price point. But if we had to guess, all their frames like the T1550 and their SLC are around that $1,600 price point for a frame. So if I had to guess, it would be around there, maybe a little more or less in the money range right there. And then also, I believe I asked them about rim brakes. I think that this bike is only going to be disc brake option only, but it is what it is. But the bike itself, I call it the toasted marshmallow color, and I don't know if this is going to be a final finished color. I do like the color a lot. The only thing I don't like is the matte white because it holds dirt. It holds dirt very easily, but the toasted marshmallow is nice. Very, very nice. So what did they change to this bike compared to all the other bikes? So just like the T1550, they upgraded this head tube area to make it a little bit easier to run cables internally through here. Nice wide area for the front or the upper headset bearing, nice wide area for the lower headset bearing, so that way you can run cables in there as well. I believe it can be ran mechanical, but I'm not sure on that. There is enough room to run mechanical. I'm sure that they probably want you to run it hydraulic. But yeah, see, you have the mechanical option right there and the mechanical option right there. So yes, I'm pretty sure you can run a mechanical on here. There is enough room. These are the spaces that come with the bike. It was very easy to guide these cables in there. It's enough room. All it is just one proprietary spacer or fitting for the upper bearing to go ahead and fit that on there. And then another big thing that I liked a lot is they beefed up this bottom bracket area right here, and they made this area massively stiff. There's a lot of carbon in this area, so that way it's going to prevent a lot of swaying back and forth, and I should know I'm about 200 pounds. But the bike is holding up very well. But a big change they changed up to is they went to a threaded T47 bottom bracket. That's an inboard threaded T47 bottom bracket. So no press fit on this bike right here, which I do like. This thing spins very freely. I'm a big fan of the actual installment of the T47. And then also you can see here, they have the lower seat stays, which have these kind of Aero wings to them. They took the same kind of T Aero shape that they have in their 1500s and the 1550s, and they took it over to the Agile look as well. Small little details I noticed. No holes showing on the through axle, which looks very clean, similar to like a BMC, which I do like a lot. And then also you have the internal seat wedge right there. Again, all those little finishes right there. This hole's a little bit bigger. It's just a 4mm clamp. Obviously this will be fitted a little bit better during once it's finished product, but that's where you go ahead and adjust this. And then even right here, the seat post, this will be fitted much better. I haven't had any slipping with the seat post, and they also have an updated seat post and an updated seat post clamp, which I'm very used to. It's just a 5mm Allen key, which goes ahead and works with cups. They come in either carbon fiber rails or alloy rails, and they give them both with you for the bike itself, which is very nice. But ride experience on here, if the group set was working, I rode it on 4th of July, and I rode it like 6 other times. I'm gonna ride it again tomorrow, and I rode it on Tuesday yesterday. The bike has handled very well. Feels very light, it feels very easy to maintain top end speeds in groups, and also feels very easy if there is a break in the group, or if there is something you have to catch up to close a gap. It doesn't feel sluggish to get up to speeds. Yes, the wheels help. These are super lightweight wheels. It's a 50mm front, 60 rear, but the frame itself, it's very nice. And the tires I have on here are monster truck tires. They're the new Vittoria Corsa Pro 700x30C tires, and they're massive. I made a video about them. I have TPU tubes inside there. You would think that you would feel a little bit sluggishness on there. No, the bike handles very well. I love the clean lines on it, and I'm very, very nice job on here. I like how that matches up right there. But yes, so once I have more and more information, and once I'm able to get more news to you guys, I will have full details of pricing, when we'll launch release, everything like that. But it is something to get excited about, because this is a really good looking frame with a lot of good details and a lot of good tech specs on it. The threaded BB, the internal cable routing, the lightweight of it as well. I mean, for this whole bike with pedals, cages, and the Garmin mount there, coming in right around 16 pounds, which is crazy. So it's a lot to get excited about. And I like the change to the C-post. I've always talked about the C-post clamps, that they're the heaviest parts on these Chinese bikes. That is a really good option. But anyways, yes, once I get more information on that, we'll go through everything. But starting off, let's go ahead and show off with all the components that I put on this bike and just talk about this bike in general. So, starting out with a handlebar, I ran a Zip Course SL70 handlebar in here. It's a 42 centimeter, and I ran it just with integrated cables, and I said, hey, I don't need an integrated bar and stem. I believe they're gonna have their own proprietary bar and stem for this to come out, but the cool thing is you can run this whatever stem system you want here, which, as you guys can see, I do have the Zip Course Cross CX version of this handlebar tape. It has some nice cush to it with some nice grip. And then for the group set on here, I have the brand new L-Twoo ERX group set, 12 gears in the rear, 2 in the front. Amazing. I actually finally got this thing to get going. I have it actually working well. L-Twoo came up with a solution, which I'll have a follow-up video to that, which I'll speak more on. But it's actually working each gear. I'm not having any disconnects like I was before, so I'm very happy with that. So doing another ride on this bike, and I'm really enjoying it. Hood shapes are very small. Hydraulic disc brakes, they are mineral fluid. It is a semi-wireless system where the shifters are wireless. The front and the rear derailleur are connected to a wire to a battery into the C-post as well. Very cool stuff. For the stem on here, I have a specialized Tarmac SL7 stem with the cables routed underneath like so. And then we have their breakaway spacers for the Agile frame right here. Going to the front, we have their Winspace logo right here with the nice little arrow cuts in the front. And then we have their Winspace fork right here as well. Now keep in mind, this is a 700x30C tire like I mentioned before, and they're measuring to about a 32C or 31-32C width tire. This thing can fit up to a 32C tire, no problems asked. So you have an Aero bike that's pretty aggressive, but also options with a 32C. Going down to the fork, like I mentioned before, it is a through axle bike, but it does have the hidden through axle holes, which is very clean aesthetically looking. But for the back, if you don't have a direct mount trainer, it is a pain in the butt, especially for like us for fitting on bikes. For the wheels on here, I made a video on these wheels. These are the Craft Racing wheel from over at PandaPodium.cc. Super lightweight wheel. It's a 50mm front, 60mm rear, full carbon fiber wheel with a carbon fiber spoke. And then they have their own ceramic bearings inside there, like a hybrid ceramic. Crazy lightweight wheels. I believe they are 1260 for the set, 1,260 grams for the set, which is insane. You get an Aero deep dish wheel for a climbing weight on there, which is very nice. And then, like I mentioned before, I have the Vittoria Corsa Pro tires and a 700x30 with the Ride Now TPU tube, 19 grams, super lightweight, which is very nice. The rotors I have on here, a 160mm front with a 140mm XTR in the rear. We have the L-Twoo branded RX disc brake calipers with a little kind of heat dispersing on there for the disc brakes. The Winspace logo going all the way down to the bottom. A nice fat bottom bracket with the threaded BB. It's a T47 Originate inboard Shimano bottom bracket, 24mm. And then for the crankset I put on here is just going to be a Shimano Ultegra crankset because it works with that group set pretty well. A 52-36 gearing with just a basic look pedal. That's a very cheap look pedal to achieve that weight as well. L-Twoo front derailleur on here. Shifting is decent. With a KMC gold chain. And then in the rear we have a 12-speed cassette Ultegra, 1130 cassette. Good gear range. And then we have the L-Twoo ERX, which is a gorgeous looking group set. Carbon fiber cage, electronic shifting, Di2 wire, or not Di2 wire, but their own electronic wire right there. And they have individual gearing index for these gears. It shifts very good. I do like this group set. I'm liking it more and more. It's coming more and more reliable, so I do like this a lot. The rear wheel on here is going to be a 60mm rear wheel with the carbon fiber spokes that do not touch and their own craft racing hubs inside there. But yes, I'll have a FREEHUB body sound test for these things as well. We have the T-shape for the wind space in the back. And we have a 140 XTR rear rotor with the through axle right here as well. And then we have the aerodynamic design. And then their own proprietary Winspace Agile seat posts. And then I have on here an S-Works Roman Evo saddle 155 with carbon fiber rails on here. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any questions about this bike, please leave a comment down below. And if I have the information on it, I will give you guys an answer. But absolute gorgeous bike. And I'm excited to ride it. So thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you guys next video. Here comes the FREEHUB body sound test on these craft racing wheels right here with the 60mm wheel set on the Winspace Agile. Here we go. Watch how steady this wheel is too on this craft. The bike does not shake at all. And this is a 30mm tire, which is crazy. I mean, the bike is running flawlessly. Thank you guys again for watching. I'll see you guys soon.